Tribute to Conway Twitty featuring Bobby Simpkins is this Saturday, July 27th at 7 p.m. at the Watch Your Opera House. Bobby Simpkins is an award-winning tribute artist who has performed all over the country, including Nashville. Bobby now lives in Kansas City and is coming to Watch Your this Saturday night at 7 p.m. If you like classic country music, this night is for you. A tribute to Conway Twitty featuring Bobby Simpkins this Saturday, July 27th, 7 p.m. at the Watch Your Opera House. Tickets are $30 and can be purchased at watchyyouroperahouse.org or at the door. The Union Mills Community Closet presents Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th, starting at 5 p.m. at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm, Oskaloosa. Serving a catered dinner of chicken cordon bleu or savory sliced beef. Call 641-200-1940 or look for Union Mills Community Closet on Facebook to purchase your tickets. Tickets are $30 or $240 to reserve an entire table. All proceeds directly benefit Union Mills Community Christmas Toy Drive. It's the Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm. The Delta Fireman's Ball is Saturday, July 27th. You can enjoy food, live music, games, and more. There will be a poker run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Keith Davis will be playing music from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information on the Delta Fireman's Ball, contact Jim or Fake Harry at 319-212-8772. The Delta Fireman's Ball is coming up Saturday, July 27th. Don't miss it. Welcome to Real Talk.
What?
Champions galore. Woo!
Yeah, what is going on this week, Steve? Why are we decked out in all this bling and finery?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, boy. We're talking gold medals.
Yeah, gold medals and stuff, because the Olympics are coming up in just a week or so.
Yeah.
And so we're getting into the spirit by wearing Steve's some of Steve's old half marathon and 5K bling.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that really big gold one there? That's
Quad Cities Marathon.
Quad Cities.
Half marathon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in 2014.
2000.
10 years ago.
Yeah, back when
I was a lot skinnier and more in shape.
Back when Steve and I ran more. I'm kind of a walker now myself, but so the Olympics are coming up, and I will be preaching a sermon series at New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa, on gold medal living, because the Bible tells us to run in such a way as to win the prize. And so I like to take that every 2 years, whether it's Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics, and just think about sports for a little while and what we can learn from that. And there's always some kind of inspiring story that we get from the Olympics, whether it's one of the great ones was gymnastics. I forget when this was, but the little American gal, and she had an injured ankle and did the vault and stuck the landing.
Oh, yeah.
And you could just tell how much pain she was in.
Is that the one with the squeaky voice?
I don't remember her voice, but she looked like she was about 6 years old, and
She probably was.
and like kind of not cool to make a little kid that age perform in that much pain.
Yeah.
And I don't know whatever happened to her ankle after that, surgery for sure, but man, you just watch a kid at that age overcome so much pain and stick that landing, and so we remember the winners, and we remember there's a British guy in the 400-meter run, and with 70 yards to go or something, his hamstring tears, and he pulls up, and he's about to quit, and his dad jumped out of the stands, and which of course is instant
totally
disqualification.
Yeah.
But his dad helped him finish the race. And oh man, I'm about to get
Yeah.
emotional about that. But there's just so many good stories in the Olympics, and it's a great opportunity to stop and think about how am I living my life? I mean, you and I aren't athletes anymore.
Unfortunately, I'm past my prime.
We're past our prime, but how am I living my life? You know, how are you living your life? Are we living in a way that God is going to look at us and say, you know, I'm proud of the way that you're doing this. I see your pulled hamstring, but your heart and your effort and your determination. I think that's the question that we just want to be asking ourselves during this Olympic season. Because honestly, too, like, you don't get to the Olympics without having a special body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's lots of people who try to train at that level and break down. Not because they don't have the heart, not because they don't have the determination. Just they don't have the body, you know? But we can live in the same way, in the same manner, in the same path. So I love to think about that at this time of the year, you know, whenever the Olympics roll around. And then I want to start doing some self-reflection. Last week, Steve, we talked about the WNBA, about which we really know nothing, and criticized professional coaches.
I did win the toilet bowl championship one year.
A 3-on-3 toilet bowl champion. So you're clearly qualified to talk about basketball. I didn't even play high school basketball, so I'm clearly qualified to talk about professional leagues. But so this week, instead of talking about other people, I thought maybe we'd talk about ourselves a little bit and be honest about our own lives. So about 6 weeks ago, I had a very good friend who's an elder in our church and has some training in life coaching and some brain science stuff. So she does life coaching out of the brain science sort of perspective, because there's a number of different styles of life coaching. But we were having a conversation, and she said to me, Aaron, can I be honest with you about something? And you always know that
something's coming that you don't necessarily want to hear.
Yeah, but that you might need to hear.
Yes.
And of course, at that point, you can't say, no, I don't want you to be honest. Would you just lie and tell me? I'm good with kind of a surface level relationship right now. If you could tell me things about me that you like, then carry on. But so my friend said, I see you engaging in some self-sabotaging behavior. So I just want to throw that out there to you, Steve, my co-host. Have you ever self-sabotaged?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think we all do that.
That's super common. And as I started to dig into that, what I discovered was what we call in the world of writing, of being an author, we talk about imposter syndrome. Have you ever heard that term?
I think I may have heard you mention it a time or two.
Oh,
tell us what it is.
So imposter syndrome is just the feeling that you're in the wrong place with the wrong people, and sooner or later somebody's going to figure out that you don't belong in that group. Kind of like if someone heard me talking smack about the WNBA and invited me to wear a wig and try out for a WNBA team. You know what? It wouldn't be very long before they figured out that I don't have game. Imposter. Yeah. Not because I'm a man, but because I'm terrible at basketball.
And because you're a man.
And because I'm a man. But also because I'm terrible at basketball. Like, I could shave real smooth and put on a wig and
yes, you could.
And try to pass myself off as a woman for a little while. But they would figure out as soon as I started playing basketball. So we have those kinds of imposter syndrome experiences. So for authors, it's this feeling that, I wrote this book and I feel, but but what's going to happen when other people start reading my book? Are they going to suddenly figure out that I don't have a clue what I'm doing and my writing stinks and my ideas are dumb and my characters are flat? So that's imposter syndrome in kind of some of those contexts. What about, I mean, you're kind of a media mogul now.
Mogul. We looked up that word before we started talking today.
Yeah, so
I'm definitely not a mogul. No, I was thinking right when you were talking about what you go through, like if you guys out there in the viewing world were to see what we see, there's a lot of different stuff on my software that's on my computer screen right now. Lots of different little buttons that I can push. And 99% of it, I have no clue what it does. I know just enough to make this all work. But, I'd say, I get the imposter syndrome when people want to start talking about more of like the tech side of what I do. Like, oh, what kind of camera do you have? What is this all? Beep, beep, boop, beep, bop. What does your computer do? my computer makes this all work. I just hit the start and stop button. I mean, no, that's the reality of it. But so yeah, when people start talking about the technical side of what I do, it gives me the imposter syndrome. If you want to talk about like creative and selling, advertising, and coming up with content, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But it's the technical stuff. No.
You're not a car guy, are you? No, neither Steve nor I are car guys. So if you ever stand around with a group of guys at church or whatever, and everybody's like, yeah, and I got this car and it's got, 16 megs of RAM and dual overhead, word processors. And
I could kick a tire.
Yeah.
Hey, I like grunt a little bit.
Yeah, I had a car once, and and it had yeah.
I like when people ask me what kind of car I drive and like what the year is, and I'm like, I forget.
I think
that black one out there.
I think I have a Buick. So yeah, it's just common everyday life. We can have those kinds of feelings of being an outsider. So that's kind of another one as I've explored this stuff with my life coach. Imposter syndrome kind of comes from feeling like an outsider. And then when I started thinking through different experiences in life where I've been an outsider. I mean, like, not everybody knows this, but I spent the first 10 years in my life in a communal church. You ever even heard of a communal church?
No.
Like, they were kind of like these Jesus hippie people in the 70s who started this church where you turned your whole paycheck over to the church, and then the church distributed that. And it's not quite the creepy kind of cult that you might be thinking of.
I might be thinking Waco, but no, I didn't say that.
Right, not. And I always have to explain that. So not creepy Waco level, not Jim Jones kind of stuff, but really, kind of honest hippie people trying to be radical about their faith. But that was weird.
Okay.
And that might have been way less weird if we had been in a big city where everybody else was being weird. But this was a little community out in north central Illinois, out in the cornfields, and the nearest town had a population of about 1,000. So in a small rural agricultural community, a hippie commune stands out like a sore thumb. So starting at that point in life, I was an insider in my own home church, but as soon as we stepped into the public school, we were pretty weird. And then my family doubled down on that by going to Africa for a year. So, obviously I was, my brother and sister and I were the only white kids in a town of about 10 or 15,000 people.
Okay.
So there was some outsider feelings there. And then we came back, And then I was a kid who'd grown up in a hippie commune who had then been in Africa for a year. So how well did that go over in Wellman, Iowa? And I had not gotten. There were some fashion changes that occurred while I was out of the country, and no one gave me a memo about that. And I found out about 2 years later that a change had occurred when my best friend told me that he was embarrassed to be seen in public with me because of my short shorts. And I just never got the memo that people weren't wearing short shorts anymore. In my mind, it was still 1983, and so. Oh man! So I, with the help of a coach, I look back at my life and wow, I've really felt, I've had a lot of those experiences. The beautiful thing about that is that what God has used that for in my life is I'm very comfortable being around outsiders. Mm-hmm. So, if you're an ex-con struggling with a meth addiction, I don't have any problem at all being friends with someone at that position in life. Mm-hmm. So, and that's a great place to be as a pastor. And I do a lot of work with guys struggling with addictions and with long legal histories. And I'm just really comfortable in those kinds of environments. But then there's other kinds of people that I am not as comfortable with. And so I'm just kind of on the front end of this process of thinking about rewiring my brain so that I can love a wider range of people, Mm-hmm. Because that's what it really comes down to. If I feel like an outsider to you, which I don't, because we're friends, but if I did, what did that look mean? Oh no, now I have anxiety. Oh goodness.
We're friends.
We're good friends. If I feel like an outsider, I'm probably going to pull away from you. And then you're going to be like, why isn't Aaron my friend? So I have just a couple of Bible verses that I want to throw out there because I need to improve my gold medal thinking. All right? Check this out. Romans chapter 12. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So how do you change? This is really interesting because it doesn't say be transformed by the renewing of your emotions. Mm-hmm. Emotions are pretty slippery. Like they come and go. But if you can get a handle on your mind and your thoughts and this, like if I have a thought of I'm an outsider, then I'm going to have emotions about that thought really quickly. And then my emotions are going to drive my behavior. So if I can be transformed by the renewing of my mind, I'm going to make some progress. And then later down, there's a bunch of emotion words later on in this chapter. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal. But keeping your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be faithful in prayer. See, there's a bunch of emotional words there. So the Bible's always coming at us from both angles, our mind and our emotions. But I'm going to be transformed by a renewing of the thoughts that I have. So, I'll be preaching about that over the next coming number of weeks at New Life as the Olympics progress, and we talk about gold medal living. We'll show off our gold medals. Well, we got some silver medals and some bronze medals in here, but second place is pretty good, right? Oh, do you have that?
I got the 2 medals that make the state of Iowa,
and that's from running 2 half marathons in one year, right?
Yeah, you get both of them or one after one race and one after the other.
Yeah, my wife and some of her friends did that one too, so they've got that cool medal. But anyway, if you want to join us at New Life Community Church, we meet at the Parkside Activity Center on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You can also catch us on Facebook. If you just want to hear the message or check the church out before you come in person, totally understand that. So we do stream live on Facebook, and then you can find that content later on in the week as well. It stays up on the internet probably forever.
Yes.
But I really hope if you don't live close to Wellman, find a good church near you. But if you're in our neighborhood, give us a shout. And hey, maybe say in the comments, what are you working on? What are some thought patterns, some imposter syndrome that you're struggling with? And let us know, and maybe we can have a discussion in the comments and maybe even pray for each other. But I think that's good for this week, Steve.
All right. Well, let's clink our medals together.
Yes.
I've never seen that done before, but we just did it today.
All right.
So that's our gold medal edition.
Gold medal moment.
Another gold medal moment here on Real Talk with Aaron and Steve, brought to us by New Life Community Church in Wellman. We'll see you next week.